Hi guys, PLO Warrior here. So just doing a new episode, new series called A Complete Guide to PLO. It's heads up PLO basically, so I'm just going to be going through different topics as I play heads up PLO. And the first topic is going to be pre-flop hand selection and flop C betting. So it's actually really fucking annoying because this is the fourth time I've recorded this video. This guy just left, like he won like €5 off me and just left, and then now I had to stop the video, and then now he's come back, so I'm recording the video. And like 2 times before, like a guy won a buy-in off me on the first hand and then just left the table. So it's really fucking annoying to record heads up PLO. But he's here now, so let's give it a go again. I think in future I might have to use Camtasia so that I can pause it instead of just recording like 3-minute videos. Right, so we flop bottom set, and this guy, we played 13 hands on him, but he's very passive. So yeah, I should have actually just led the flop because I don't think he's c-betting the flop very much. So we just decided to pot the turn, and we're just going to bet the river. I should have led the flop though. So you generally want to open most of your hands on the button. This hand is obviously good enough, 3-4, Queen 6, and we're gonna check on this flop. We have like no equity. The guy is calling quite a bit post flop, so I don't think I have much fold equity on this board. Probably calling me with any pair. Maybe you could fold a 7 with nothing else, but I mean that's not many hands. And you want to be playing quite tight in the big blind, especially if you're quite new to PLO. You want to be folding, you know, your worst hands obviously. And if you are new to PLO, it's probably better to be just not 3-betting at all. Like even if you have aces or 8, 9, 10 jack, if you don't have that much experience, it's better to just flat all your hands in the big blind. So this hand is obviously quite weak, but it's always calling in the big blind, especially when he min raises. So this guy is super passive basically. So what that means is we have to lead flops as a bluff and for value. We can't expect him to value bet. We can't expect him to c-bet very often. So far his c-bet percentage is 0% over 18 hands. So he's going to have a strong c-betting range. You can't see my HUD on here because I've got it on window capture on OBS Studio. But I'll tell you the stats if anything is interesting. I'm going to check back here. Turn a double gut shot. A 3 or a 10 makes me the nuts or effective nuts. This is an easy call with a suited king and a rundown. I do have 2 blockers with the 7 and the jack. I mean the 7 and the king. However, I'll have to double barrel because there's so many draws here. It's not very likely that I'm going to get a fold here, so I do have to commit to 2 barrels, and I don't really want to do that on such a draw heavy board. So we're just gonna let him have this one. Man, he's certainly doing some fishy things. So we have an easy open here, and he 3-bets us like minimum. And on this board, obviously we're going nowhere. Top pair and a 10-eye flush draw. The fact that he bets pot, I don't really love that, especially because he has a 0% c-bet. I could raise here and just get it in, but in position I think it's better to just flat call and see some turn cards as opposed to just raising. Whereas if I was out of position, I'm more likely to raise here. However, on this turn card, I'm definitely just potting it. I think there's already 9 in there, he's only got 16 left, so we've got top and middle pair and a flush draw. He folds. he could have just had an overpair. Ace 3-5. I'm just going to lead out here. I don't expect him to c-bet unless he actually has something. I'm just going to pot the turn. He just folds. Very strong hand. Now you want to check back some hands with you can't just be c-betting like every time you have top pair, so you want to mix in some checks. However, I don't have the flush draw. If I had the flush draw, I can check back, or if it was queen deuce 3 rainbow, I can check back just to mix in some stronger hands in my checking range. But this opponent seems very passive. So against this specific opponent, it's a pretty easy strategy, just generally playing tight. Going to be trying to steal pots. I'm going to just bet on the river with the nuts. But it's going to be a lot of stealing small pots against him, and just making sure that when we get to the river, I actually have the goods, or you know, nut blockers. He just open folds there, so this guy is obviously very weak. And this is a hand you would fold to a 3x raise, but he just limps the button, so he gives us a free flop. And we turn a set. Obviously just betting here. He raises us. I'm just gonna raise him. They can have queen 5, queen 8, flush draw. Jack 9 is the only hand that beats us here. I'm just gonna pop the river. If he has queen 5 or queen 8, he can't fold really. And he did have queen 3 and rivered the 10, and that's him out of the cash game. Please reload. Yes, for the sake of the video, man. I can't just keep recording these 3-minute videos. I'm gonna need to use Camtasia in the future so that I can pause it, so that we can get a good length video. Alright, so flop bottom 2. This hand needs a lot of protection, so I prefer betting here. He is folding to a lot of c-bets, so I want to put some more bluffs into my c-betting range. We're c-betting 80% of the time now, which is quite high anyway, so probably don't need to put any more bluffs in there. I couldn't bet this turn, or I could check raise here. I think check raising is better, because we have a 10 blocker and we have a jack, which may or may not be good, but we have to get in some check raises now and again, and he goes ahead and folds. So yeah, without the 10 there, I probably wouldn't have check raised, but it's a good candidate to check raise when you've got a mediocre hand with a blocker. And also, you know, he didn't see you at the flop, so quite likely he's just stabbing on the turn. It looks like he's going to time out again. Come on, man. Play the game. Yes, he played the game. This would be a fold if he 3x'd it, and he does, so we're going to just fold this hand. And you can open this. It's a pretty weak hand. Now I'm going to go for a check back here. We are afraid of quite a lot of cards on the turn, not that one. But like I was saying before, you do need to mix in some strong hands on your check on the flop. So you just, so that they can't attack you when you just check the flop. It means, you know, that you don't have top pair or 2 pair or better. I mean, against weak players, it doesn't matter so much, but it's good practice to I dumped the flop. I'm going to bet a turn just because he's so passive. I'm going to fold to a raise. Yeah, he just lets us have it with when we have bottom pair. I'm going to fold this hand. I mean, I could limp. Yeah, I'm going to limp because I don't think he's raising much out of position, but It's exploitable, obviously, against good players. If they know you're limping this kind of hand, it's a pretty weak hand. They're just going to raise you and barrel you on, you know, high boards. But against the weaker players, which is 20 PLO and most of 50 PLO, you can get away with it. I'm just going to give up here. It was a bit of a bad flop bet. I mean, we have a jack blocker, but and we do river a set, and we do have a jack blocker, so it's kind of hard for him to have jack 9. So we are going to make a raise here. I'm not going to make it huge because I think he doesn't have a super strong hand. Yeah, he has queen 8. That hand kind of makes sense. I don't expect him to fold queen 8 or queen 10. Against that specific hand, we could have gone a bit bigger. But I expected him to have a weak 2 pair. I wasn't really paying attention there, I'll be honest. I thought I was on the button. I was in the big blind and I min raised it anyway. So we'll just scrap this hand. You can just have this hand, sir. You can just have this hand. We're just going to be calling this hand, and this is a good candidate to check raise because we do have a lot of backdoor draws. However, he's pretty short stacked, which is kind of annoying. I'm actually just going to call the flop. Not the best hand card, but yeah, if we're deeper, I can like raise the flop because I can turn a spade, an 8, a 9, 10, queen. On the turn, I'm actually just going to fold. It seems pretty weak. No, I can't fold, can I? Getting like 2. I mean, we did make a royal flush. I'm trying to think of what hand he's actually going to have here. I think that he actually bet flop and turn, which means he does have a strong hand, I think. I'm actually just going to check raise. If he has a full house, I want to get the extra 96 cents. Royal flush, live and direct, mate. What the fuck, bro? He had a pair of 6s. Guys, he had a pair of 6s. What? I don't get it, man. He bet called it off. Well, that was interesting. I wanted to even fold the turn. How can I fold the turn? Just because he's c-betting the flop so little that I think he has a jack or an ace a lot of the time, or better. I don't even know if we can fold. We can have a king, spade, or 10. Or was it king, spade, or 9? Something. I don't know. But anyway, at least we got like a 5-minute video probably that time. Ooh, 13-minute video. Could be worth uploading. But yeah, in the future I'm just going to use Camtasia so that I can pause it so we don't get this 13-minute video. Go for like half an hour to an hour. If heads up play would be better. But yeah, that concludes episode 1. Thank you.